myself in the you know what for this, but I just because you know I really sense that you're a very good person and your heart is right. But you also want to make a buck out of it. 260, and that will give you enough money to that you'll still make a profit, a sizable profit out of that. So that's perfect world.
Okay, so okay, I think I had talked about 155 before for the
Yeah.
first one. Was that just a miss? Maybe. Oh, sorry, I was on mute. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. So one thing me and Miss Drake had talked about prior, and maybe this was just a misunderstanding on our part, but was the property you said 260? I think we were talking about 155 before, or
155.
okay, okay, got it. Okay, so 260, and then the mortgage balance is 155. Gotcha. Okay, understood. Okay, okay, and so 260, you walk away, and remind me again, what was your reason for selling this property? You just want to.
In the DC region.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Because we buy two ways, Mr. Blackwell. I'm sure you and Mystique talked about this. The first way that we buy is cash. That's easier for everybody. It's easier for me. It's easier for you. It makes the process super clean and simple. It honestly takes us a little bit more risk on our side because we're putting up all the money up front, but it just makes a nice, smooth, clean transaction. Um,
Visualize it. How's that look?
Yeah, so typically the process works is we're working with a seller who is happy to trade some of their equity for speed and convenience of selling the property. So they might sell to us at a fair price still, but a slight discount to maybe what they could sell for on market, but they avoid all the closing costs, repairs, and get all their money at once. It is a discount to the as is value to the property, but it's quick, it's fast, it's easy for everybody.
Okay. Okay. So so how would I look at this case?
Honestly, sir, I don't know if we'd be a good fit for the property on cash. And I don't want to disrespect you with a low offer. I'm sure you've already gotten plenty of those already, haven't you?
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate it. Because people try to get something for nothing these days. And as you know, as I mentioned, I put a lot of money in this property. The property's in pretty mint condition. There's been a few little minor things, but you'll come in, you put a program in, and you're gonna make a ton of money.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. And then everybody walks away from the deal on a win-win situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
On a win as well. I appreciate you saying that. Hey, it won't be a real good fit. So I understand that. So that's what I'm kind of looking at right now for that because I can turn we're a little tight. Can probably get that minimum of the 260. But because we usually did the comps over here and they're just shooting up because everybody likes that community. Everybody moving in it.
oh, that's beautiful, man. That's good to hear. You sound
Because when you were talking about the back book on Ella, what are your thoughts on that?
well, I mean, I still wanted to, there's a multiple ways we buy, so that's just me talking about one option. We didn't even go through all the other options, but real quick, I mean, yes, sir. What made you not list this on the market? If you could sell it that fast, shoot, why not?
home buyers. And somebody kind of approached me on that. I probably run it out. And right now, it takes the interest rates and usually people who are kind of in that first time home buyer, they may have some credit challenge. So we tendered an offer, but it just hasn't panned out because usually those things have to come up with the closing costs to the city for the program. It definitely has the time to back. Not
Mm-hmm.
that it's back, but this is it. I got an offer, but I just got off the start. And it is
Understood.
a great product, great. Because literally, you know, I think it's free. You walk and you see it. Um, it's a place that you will.
No, 100%, Mr. Blackwell. And I'd love to figure out a win-win situation. I mean, if we were able to come, if we were able to come in and pay all your closing costs, we were able to handle, all the commissions, and there's no commissions, but even if we did handle all commissions, repairs, all of that, and bought it as is, closed in 30 days. I mean, do you think that 260 is the best that we could do together?
Totally. I mean, pretty much 260 is pretty much what's going. Because I do have a person that that wants to put it up. I'm kind of hedging. So what do you care about?
I don't think you want to hear my counter, to be honest with you, Mr. Blackwell. Because typically if we're buying properties, we want to get a discount. So the way I buy a full purchase price property at full value is I'll buy it over time because my cash price would just be, I think you'd find it disrespectful. So instead, what I do for sellers that want the full value of the property, like the full retail value, what we do is we'll do that price, but we just need terms that allow us to cash flow over time.
Well, sure. And then I thought, well, I'll hold the note and until you cash flow.
Well, not on, we would make sure we cash flow out the gate, of course. But yeah, you would hold the note. We would give you some money up front at closing. I know there's a mortgage, so we would take over that $1,400 payment every month. We would pay it for you, and we would be responsible for all repairs and issues with the property. We're basically upgrading you from the landlord into the bank. And the bank just collect checks and don't deal with nothing on the house.
How long will this relationship last?
So for us, we can flex on these numbers. It really is just like a seesaw for us, balancing the right thing. My motto is equity comes, equity goes, as long as the cash flows. So typically, most deals we do, if we're paying at or above full retail value, we're gonna end up being around like a 10 to 12-year monthly payment. And then at the end, we'll pay you a balloon of whatever's left, if there's any left.
I'm trying to visualize how that would go.
Absolutely, sure. What could I offer some more clarity on? Like, what specifically are you wondering how it would look?
They come up with some cash. How much cash are you talking about?
What would
And
make
then monthly, how much will I get as a residual?
Sure, those are both great questions. So, what would make you smile walking away from the table with in your pocket? Because the deal for us, it just has to be better than what we can go out to the bank and get, right? Because remember, I like to buy cash. I prefer to do it. I just have to, my offers are just lower than what sellers are wanting right now. And so the terms that I get, I'm not like a desperate buyer or anything like that. We really
Right.
just want deals that are, better than what we can get at the bank right now, and they're charging us like 15% down, 20% down, and some heavy interest right now. So as long as the deal is better than that,
Talking about you said you were going to make the insulting offer. What was that insulting offer?
I don't I don't want to make it, man. I feel like we could go get beers right now and have a good time. And I feel right, okay. Well, I'll tell you this, my cash offer would be under 200,000. So I don't want to make the cash offer. I'm willing to buy the property on terms at 260, maybe even 275. Um, but it just has to be a deal that is better than what I would go to the bank and get in terms of my terms. So if I could give you like, you know, $10,000 at closing, I'll take over the mortgage payments and pay you a little bit on top of the mortgage every month. And then I'm going to turn around and put this as a sober living or assisted living and cash flow that way. And then we'll balloon you out at the
Okay.
end.
So that like that set up for how many years?
Typically, we're going to be at 10 to 12 years when we're buying the property at full as is value.
Well, I guess well, probably 80 or almost 80 years old. So is there a buyout option?
Yeah, so there's a couple of ways you could get it out. I always tell people that it's an incentive to stay alive, you know? But there is a buyout option.
It sounds a friend.
Right, yeah. So what we could do if you wanted to cash out early, since it is a note, you know how banks they trade mortgages all the time. Like one time your loan will be with Bank of America, then it'll be with SPS Servicing, then it'll be with M&T Bank. And so you can sell the loan that we create together the same way and pull your cash out.
You got a point. You got a so, yeah, so you do FPS. I used to do some more service of my house and stuff. I paid the loan off. So, okay. I think I had another account with them in the past. Um, okay, well, that's let me wrap my head around that, and I'll get back to you. And that creative way might be a good way to go. Now, what about my other problem? And Mrs. Grace, you can explain tell what I mean by the other problem.
Yeah, so that one, I don't think will be a good fit for that one. And the reason why is because I need to take a deeper look at the rehab like that it needs. Like I'd need some photos of it. But from my understanding,
The doubt. And the challenge too is the neighborhood. But
yeah,
the big plus side, the big plus side is the fact that within the mayor's backyard, and they're going to be plugging $200 million in development of park type of that for the area. And you'll be right there talking about the living and stuff. That you'll be an answer. Right now,
not necessarily. If you could send Mystique some photos if you haven't already, I would love to review them. I just think that with the balance of it and the rehab budget, I don't want to make you an offer that doesn't make any sense for you to take or that's, doesn't make sense for us. So I need to give that one a little bit more insight. I'm not super interested because we really like stuff that's like medium or light renovations. And then if it is a heavier rehab, we like to have a hefty profit, a hefty spread.
for me to kind of really entertain a very creative solution. I mean, you have to put some money in now, and the area is kind of a challenge area. But if you, but if you'll come off really well, and if you want to, whatever office you feel comfortable with, I will entertain.
I appreciate that, sir. Could you please send us some photos so that I could review them with Mystique and then
and I'll get back to it. But it is a it's a it's a more of
It's a big boy.
it's not plumbing. It's just cosmetics and painting and dealing with lead and that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with those ones, those full gut ones. So, yeah, we just with the way the market is, we tend to stay a little bit further away from them. But if the numbers work, the numbers work. Especially if you're open to something creative, we have a couple of things that we can do with properties like that. So, excellent. Excellent, sir. Okay, well, Mr. Blackwell, I'll definitely review the photos with Mystique and come up with some numbers on that one. As far as the first property, I know you said you wanted to think about the terms a bit more, just so I kind of know or maybe can answer some questions before we get off the line. What were some things that you wanted to think about?
Thrilled about holding the note
Mm-hmm.
and what kind of cash are you talking about? I was thinking more like 75,000. That kind of give some options to do a few things. Um, if I do entertain them, I would want kind of a what is your flow your what is your range?
100. And I appreciate your transparency, Mr. Blackwell. I always try to figure out, hey, what is the seller trying to accomplish? Like, what things are they looking to spend this money on? That way, I can see if there's any other creative ways I can still help them accomplish those things and still make a good deal for us. If I'm being honest, if it was 75 on a $260,000 purchase, that is about like 28%. Currently, we're trying to be better than what the banks and what our private money lenders give us, and they're giving us like 15 to 20% down payments. So on a $260,000 house, that would be like 39,000. If I'm being honest, where I would want to be on a deal like this, if I'm paying you I'd actually pay you more than 260. I'd be willing to actually pay you more like 275, maybe 280, but I'd have to be at like 15 15 to $20,000 down.
To write something out and gives it this trace. And then we'll continue.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure you'll have some more questions. So do you want to send the photos and we can review that one? That way the next time we get on the call, we can talk about both. Yeah, for the one that needs the renovation. That way I can we you can bring the questions for the first property that's rent ready. And then okay, when no sir, when do you want to talk again so that we can review the properties in time?
We'll be talking over the weekend.
Oh, perfect. You as well, Mr. Blackwell. And please, I'll write up the LOI right now. It'll just be a very brief letter of intent. We'll get this over to you. And then when you have a chance, please send those photos of the one that needs renovation, and we'll do a deep dive on that one as well. Have a blessed Friday, man. It's been a pleasure.